Okay, we're gonna go on our next topic. We were talking about technology, and I was actually going to bring something up, but I know that Rocco has something a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
In regards to this, so Rocco, Heartthrob, I want to go to you next.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's it was a few weeks ago. My brother-in-law introduced me to this YouTube video. He was like, "Hey, check this out. It's the Blue Angels," and I was watching it. He's like, "It's shot with a 360-degree camera." So it's like pretty much two fisheyes put together on opposite sides that gets everything except for like one little non-visual spot. And with it though, they upload the raw data or however they do it to YouTube, and then from your mobile device, you're able to look anywhere within that 360-degree range and see whatever it is you would want to see. So if you're sitting here, instead of normally just being able to watch whatever the cameraman wants you to watch, you can tilt your phone up if you want to, and you can look up at the sky. You can tilt it down, look at the ground. You can tilt it left, see if there's anything going on there. Right too as well. Here you go. Ian's going to kind of show you this. This is a scuba diving event where he's going to tilt it up a little quick so you can see that. He's tilting it down. You can see the bottom. You can see the ground. He tilts it up. You can see the ocean. If he was to tilt it behind, obviously you wouldn't be able to see the image anymore. But you can visually see whatever it is you want. This to me is like the future for a lot of TV shows. The future for how-tos. The future for movies possibly. Where it's like now nobody's gonna have the same exact experience. We can shoot a video, and now you can have 5 different people watching this video, and they might all be watching something entirely different. One example I was looking at, if you go to YouTube and you look up 360 videos, you'll be able to see a large list of what they have available there. One I was watching was a food cooking network where they're sitting there and they're cooking, and you can see the guy who's announcing and talking right here in front of you. But if I turn left, I'm looking at the guy that's not paying attention at all to this guy.
Oh my God.
He's sitting over there kind of just like, whatever, I'm just like messing with some of the food. And the guy, I turn to the right, and I see this other guy who's like prepping his food, getting ready to do it. And I look back at the guy that's talking, and he's still doing his announcement. And it's like, that's insane. To me, that's insane because it gives you tons of freedom. Now, in the right-hand corner of this, too, on YouTube, they have a VR headset. So obviously, we're moving into that direction of virtual reality. You're going to be able to just put on this headset and watch a video and literally see whatever it is you want to see. That, I see, like I said, is the future. And I see there's so much room for possibility there of what you can do with that.
Like having an avatar. So my kid is going to be born in February, and if my parents could put it on a VR and I got this robot grandma walk around.
Got it. Well, here's what they do, right? They put it on a stand, and they just so if let's take this, you're sitting inside your living room with your baby, right, and your wife, and you put this on a tripod and you just shoot it. Anybody can watch the video and then look at what's happening all around in the room. The dog's running in the background. You change it to look at the kid. You change it to look at the wife, the husband, whatever it is you want to be looking at that time. And you might watch that video 15 times and never see the same thing twice. It's like, I think
like the ghosts behind you.
Yeah. Or that. That's like,
that is really cool.
Yeah. That's impressive to me because I hadn't ever seen anything like that before. That feels like interactive with video.
Maybe we can do the first 3D podcast or something, or 360 podcast.
Ooh. I think our show falls apart if people could see everything around.
I think so too.
I'm not wearing any pants.
Yeah. Full disclosure, I'm not wearing any pants.
Well, probably directors are not thrilled with this,
right? They're pretty affordable.
Yeah, the directors probably are not, yeah.
That's have you guys played the game Half-Life 2? It's kind of old at this point, I guess. But in that game, I remember it was an interesting novelty that they had these cutscenes, but they were just happening around you. So the 2 story characters would walk into the scene and they'd like talk about something, and you're supposed to follow them and hear the story progress. Well, I'd always be around, like dicking around in the corner, looking at some shelf or something, and they've walked off the other way and keep talking about the story. So this very expensive story that people worked on. And
they're like, I'm sure, are we ready to do this mission? You're like, what?
Yeah. So I just wandered off, and I can't even hear them anymore. So I feel like there is a danger with interactivity, giving the player full license or giving the watcher the ability to like just not pay attention to you.
There is. Like I was saying with that cooking show, he was telling us all about the cooking, and I'm over here looking at all the guys on the other side that they're not paying attention. I'm not paying attention.
Well,
I didn't hear anything.
This is what kind of student we are.
I think it just depends on the people making the content need to know when to use the right tools. So if they're going to shoot with a 360 cam, and they need to know that there's going to be freedom for this person to do stuff. So they have to design it, whether it be a game or video, like around that, because otherwise, like you said, people are going to do, if you give them freedom, they're going to use it as much as possible.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, because like, why would you need that freedom in a cooking show? You really only should be paying attention to cooking. I don't want, like, why would you, hey, camera guy, this is me. You're like, dude,
I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Cutting tomatoes.
I think that's kind of cool. I think that part's kind of cool. It's like, okay, he's talking about this, but like, I really want to see the guy doing the food prep because that's the knife skills and everything, you might want to know.
That's fair.
And they've got how-tos. They've got all different kinds of things that show you, just like if you're watching the guy, but you want to see what else he's grabbing, like what he's grabbing before he's going to grab it. You want to see the tools that he's using. You have that ability. Hold on a second.
We need a 360 video of this like child running around. Like.
Now, if I had it, you would see some stuff going over here. But what do you guys think? Do you think that there's a possibility of future films being able to do that? I mean, it's going to drive you away from the story possibly if you're distracted, but do you think that VR headsets are going to be inside the theaters at some point where you will have that ability to use a 360 camera?
I see VR in the living room.
Yeah, at home for sure.
Like I'm going to watch that Planet Earth episode in my VR headset, and it's going to be amazing.
Saving Private Ryan? I mean, imagine that beach scene. Like,
no, thank you. No, thank you.
So that's kind of interesting, though. So you wouldn't have to just focus on Tom Hanks running through the whole thing. You could be looking at all the other action happening all over the place.
Okay, so here's my fear with this is that like 3D is it's going to be forced and not used correctly. Because, like, we can think about retrospectively, that's cool. But, like, as long as I have the it's hard, right? Because now all of a sudden directors have to create for both.
Yeah, they have to create a 360 angle. Like it takes 3 months for them to shoot just the one angle.
Right.
How long is it going to take them to shoot every single direction? And I mean, you can't. There's no way. There's like guys with microphones. There's fucking like.
Yeah, and you can.
It's impossible.
And you can only choose one. Do you want that linear like?
And it's not that impossible. You get a room, right, and you put the camera right in the middle, and the room is full of the actors. You got the you boom mics and whatnot above. But then it's like the entire room is the action happening. You know what I mean? Nobody's like sitting behind the scenes shooting the video. The camera's right dead
just
center.
So you know, everyone, Rocco went to college for cinematography, and the man
I'm just saying that
A-Train is in visual effects, so they are very familiar with the filming industry and how it's created. So we're not just spitting shit out of our ass here. They're actually thinking about how this
could be done. But but the story would get lost. Like you wouldn't
That's my
like.
Point.
It'd be good for like I don't know, like almost like an inspector movie, like because like you got to look at certain people and what they're doing. That'd be pretty.
Shit.
That would be cool. Oh wow, that would be great use. Yeah.
Oh my god, like
imagine like
or like
you
a
feel
thriller?
like missing.
Could you imagine like being in Scream where like the story doesn't really matter? It's all about.
I'm running up the stairs.
Yeah, you're just like.
Don't go upstairs. Don't go upstairs. There's no exit.
Oh my god, that would be cool. But like for Saving Private,
getting like anxiety thinking about this.
But like for Saving Private Ryan, you can only choose one. You can either have that experience of like this mass craziness, or you can follow that one character through his like emotional like ride into the. You can't have both, and I'd be worried that we would be sacrificing that in favor of a gimmick that people are forcing.
Well, if people use it correctly, like, okay, say someone says, hey, this movie, we're going to use this technology because it'll enhance it, but if you go to a different movie and it's more linear, I mean, you could have the best of both worlds, technically.
Right.
I understand you're afraid of it being forced, but, there's going to be directors out there.
Well, it's just like everything else, even like the 3D, there's going to be uses for, there's going to be, times when it's right, and like Alan was saying, the tool is going to be used correctly, and when it's not going to be used correctly, and people are going to try to force it upon you.
How much would it cost for a ticket to go see a VR 360 at a movie
I mean,
theater?
they're probably going to have VR headsets, like, strapped to the seats, like $50
now.
That's staying at your house.
No,
I don't see that happening.
In fact, I actually don't. Man, would you? I don't think movie theaters are. I think they're going to be dead more so than anything in the future. Especially with VR, you could just like get that full like experience, right?
Yeah.
In your living room.
What about going on a date? Like,
or where they only did
going outdoors.
You sit next to your girl and she's got
yeah, exactly.
You guys are just like,
You're on a date and nobody's looking at each other. You're putting her hand on her lap and she's got another person's hand on her lap, and like, what's going on here?
It's gonna be like the movie with Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, Demolition Man?
Yeah, Demolition Man.
Oh yeah.
Sex is gonna change. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be just put on your feet.
Or it changed too.
Taco Bell's everywhere. Seashells. It's nuts.
Well, that's even. I mean, there's like I don't know. I just see. So they make them affordable too. These cameras are very affordable. You know, I was looking at the price range, and it's anywhere between like $350 to about $1,000, which isn't too bad for a camera. Yes, I was like, wow, that's really impressive, and it's really good quality even for the $350 camera. But I started looking a little bit more into it because I was looking for an investment purpose, because I was like, hey, man, I kind of feel like this is a future thing. Maybe put some money into whoever's going to be creating these cameras. And I started looking more into it. There's companies getting prepared right now for feature film cinematography. They're developing cameras to be able to do feature film. So it was looking like, okay, they're going to at least attempt to go in that direction for a movie or two, or maybe, the future, whatever it be. I don't know. But there is, and there's a lot of huge corporations backing this company right now too, that believe that that's the future too. So for me, I was kind of like, I can see there's pros and cons to it. There's without a doubt, there's going to be pros and cons to it.
Well, I was going to say, like, I could see how like that would be pretty good. Like, say just at a moment in the movie, you have 360 vision, like that. Say that beach scene at Saving Private Ryan. You imagine that, like, it goes in, all of a sudden it's like it turns on, it says 360, and then like you looking around, all of a sudden you hear this guy yell at you to the side, and you're looking at him, and he's like, "Come follow me," and you're like going like this, and then all of a sudden your bomb drops right here. You hear it in your headphones.
I mean, yeah.
Shit, you look down and you're like, and you're just running still, like that's cool.
You're in, at that point, you're in the movie. You know what I mean? You're the actor.
PTSD.
You're not watching.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, this is just, I mean, it's okay in a video game because there's a better disconnect of reality, but like that Saving Private Ryan scene, even as it stands, is one of the most immersive things already. So I can't imagine actually standing next to somebody.
Yeah,
and he's like, get out, get down, and you turn, you're like, ah.
Like educational purposes, I definitely see it being used. There's certain things that could,
like Matt said,
in porn a lot too.
Well, that was actually another thing we had discussed about, is that like that. Honestly, it's already a crazy, market.
That's how we measure technology, right?
At that point,
if porn adopts it, it's gonna work.
If you put that camera in the middle of the scene, at that point, it's like that person can look at anything they wanted to. It doesn't matter about fetishes at that point. You can create your own fetish from that shot. But I'm saying like that. It's like this is where it could be used anywhere. I mean, at the feature film level, at the how-tos, at the commercials, at the
documentary. I think would be great.
Documentaries, like anything.
Planet Earth, those ones.
Yeah.
Right.
You just like plant your camera out in the savannah.
And the guy's talking, but
whatever comes by,
Yeah, you want to see what's going on.
That's cool.
I was thinking of, what about sports, like football games and stuff like that?
Absolutely.
Boom, everything.
And they've got that, right? If you look at the hashtag 360 videos on YouTube, they've got a boxing match where you have free range of looking at any angle you want to with that boxing match.
Holy shit.
And do this in football, do this in soccer. What if you got these cameras that are just hanging from up above, center of the field, and it's got everything there. You can literally watch. I think that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I think cameramen are going to go out of style there. No more cameramen.
And with some things, I think that would kind of kill some of that industry.
Matt,
but it increase that VR side,
Would you use it on your YouTube videos? Do you think your audience would love to like almost be sitting next to you, looking over your shoulder, or like would that be a thing?
I don't see the appeal. I mean, everything I do is on my screen anyway. Like I just draw on the computer. Yeah. I feel like if I were a car mechanic, maybe that would be cool.
But
how-to, like you were saying, like if like building a computer, somebody just stuck their thing in there, and you're like doing this. I'm like, well, what about the wiring down here when he's doing that?
That'd be rad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So go check that out, guys. 360 videos.
I'm going to look up some of those. I'll see if any of them will work on my phone. So you can only use it on your phone, I guess, right?
Well, here's one thing real quick. I had my brother try it out. He couldn't do it on his iPad for whatever reason. He couldn't do it on his iPhone either.
I couldn't either. And I have the latest and greatest. So that's weird.
So it might be an Android situation because Ian said he's using the Samsung. I'm using an Android to work for mine. I'm not sure how that's working. But go check it out if you can, and try to use any technology. If you're just seeing an image with like what looks like 360 range of it, that's obviously not working correctly.
Maybe Apple's just lagging in technology with it. I don't know.
Who knows?
Just like their designs.
Guys, that episode, that topic was brought to you by our Twitter account at Maelstrom Gamers. If you guys don't have money to support us, that's cool. There's free ways. Follow us on Twitter. You'll get to know when all of our new videos come out, and you'll know when we go and live stream. So check us out. We're always retweeting interesting stuff as well, and we want to hear from you.